Ma'am, first, a very big thank you to you for supporting this new major initiative of full scholarship program at Ahmedabad University. You and your family, you've been in philanthropic activity for a very long time, supported many children at the school level. What really motivated you to support, to make this major, big contribution for with a full scholarship for an underprivileged girl's education at Ahmedabad University?
See, at the outset, let me thank you first to Ahmedabad University, to Vice Chancellor Chandraji, and your endowment team under your leadership for giving me this opportunity of being the first donor to your this valuable program of UG scholarship. I have chosen to give it to a girl student from unprivileged family. I would be happier if she happens to be the first learner from the family also. As you rightly said, that it becomes very difficult for the girl child from a say disadvantaged family to go for higher studies. So it is my privilege that I've been given this opportunity. You're talking about my family being philanthropic. Yes, my father was a live wire in the industry, and he was a great thinker and doer out of the box. My mother was also gold medalist when she studied till 10th in her time, and she also dedicated her life to children and to the unprivileged women in this society. So I think I carry that same motivation and same values further. So I'm not doing anything great. I'm just pursuing my heritage in giving this contribution. And I'm really delighted that it will be used for the very useful purpose for giving education. So it's, as I said, it is my privilege. But if I say that these days it is very difficult for the children of the household when there are, you know, when the parents have to choose between the child for higher education, it becomes very difficult for them. And this scholarship, if what you have started with, is a great initiative also. So I think this is the motivation that I also carry forward. Yes, I do believe that this is what I am providing is for making the girl more empowered and more self reliant in the future. That's the purpose of giving. And after all, what is empowerment? Empowerment is the process of choice and power also at the end. And what I feel is that it comes with knowledge, it comes with experience, it comes with skill building, and also you have to work for being self reliant, self confident. And there are two magic words for it is education and knowledge. So I think this is what this is the first step that I'm taking to see that the girl becomes self reliant at the end of it or in the future.
Ma'am, you've been a brilliant student yourself. Dakshaji, you were the second batch of IIM Ahmedabad, the time when very few women went into management, even education, leave alone the management education. How do you see this scholarship inspiring the recipient student? and her family, how would it impact their future of the family?
See, in those days, I mean, we are now talking of 1965 when I joined the institution, because 1967 I graduated from the institution, 2 years program. It was hardly that, people thought of sending their girls to business management. It was my father who inspired me, because at that time the institute had come up. I mean, nearly 1 year only it had started.
You were probably the only girl student in
And
your class.
and I was the. I mean, it's my good luck as well as God's blessing also. Nothing to forget that I had good score also in the school and colleges, so I could get the admission, and I was the only one in the classroom. First quarter was very difficult because the teaching method was totally different than what we used to get the education at the colleges or at the school level. So it was quite difficult, but though I was very prepared mentally, I I think I really went through a tough time, but then it gradually settled down. It was my father's initiative because he wanted me to join his business. My brother was that time younger, and then he wanted to go abroad for further study. So it was quite a long time that he wanted to need some family help in his business, because that time we had 4 to 5 mills, cotton textile mills in our family. So it was a family business also, and I really wanted to take up this business management course before I joined the business. So that is how I took up this study, and now it is, and going through the course, I think I can tell that it has given me a lot of pride, lot of self confidence, and I've almost completed now 55 years of working life as businesswoman, which is a great journey also, because I've worked as the employer, as the employee, and as the consultant. Lot of different modes of life that I've seen, and lot of experiences that I've gathered. So it's a good journey that I went through, and I want to, again, by giving this contribution as scholarship to the girl also, that life is hard. It's not that too easy. One has to work and dedicate oneself to the cause of whatever work that you have chosen, and she has to see that you become self-reliant at the end of the story.
And sure,
I
it will impact her
remember.
family also. I think this should translate, make a wider difference, especially like, is the child coming from an underprivileged background. So even the
Absolutely.
family in the immediate and the close family, you would see that impact coming.
Definitely, I've seen, because later on I've worked in microfinance sector where I've seen the grassroots level people and their own household, and how they are spending after education, after medication, and for medication, and then what are their scarce resources, how they are useful. So any addition to those kind of family or those kind of section of society is going to be a boon for them. So it's definitely a good initiative that if it is given to a girl who wants that the family should be helped ultimately, and they can also rise to certain level of standard. I remember, I mean, one study that I have gone through, UNDP study says that only 6% of the female workforce is being given employment in India. If you think of the higher strata of the management, it's only 4% of the workforce which is employed. And if you remove even the uh, daughters and the wives of the businessmen, it comes to 1% of the women workforce which is being employed. Now, in order to generate more GDP, these section of the society have to be helped so that their household income can rise to take care of their own needs. So it is better that we provide such kind of help to this section of society, which is very much needed at this time.
Dakshaji, I'm sure this contribution would have a multiplier effect in more ways than one. What would be your message to the recipient's student scholar? Uh,
See, the UG scholarship is going to make a lot of difference in with the students. It's going to remain in focus, whoever gets the scholarship. What I feel is that it's a burning desire is the first step towards achieving the goal. If there is no desire, or if it's just like a fire, small fire, which gives no heat. Likewise, if a small desire is there or the desire is ineffective, then there is not going to be any result out of it. So I feel that the girl or whoever is recipient should have a strong goal decided for herself in whatever field she wants to go, in whatever field um, she wants to take the education. But she has to be firm. She has to be hardworking. She is hard. Along with the hardworking, it is very important that it is a smart working also. She has to take the initiative, instinctive, as well as she has to be inspiring with all these efforts that she is putting, or for excellence, whatever we say. So I think the recipient is the main person who has to receive and also has to make herself most most
Effective user of
effective use of this purpose
opportunity that you provide.
opportunity that
Dakshaji, there's a famous quote by philanthropist Warren Buffett that if you are the luckiest 1% of humanity, you owe it to the rest of the humanity with the 99% of humanity there. Do you agree with this quote, and what would be your message to the new generation? Um, the wealthy, we have the billionaires now every other day with the startups and everywhere, and the companies being set up. What would be your message to them? And first, you agree with this?
I definitely agree with this. And also when I feel women, who is now forming 50% of the population, are not contributing significantly into the GDP of the nation because they are not employed in a profitable way or in a productive way. So, the first duty of us or the rich section of the society becomes that we provide them enough opportunity to come up into the formal sector. As I've given also before the UNDP example or survey result, it is very imperative that we make the women productive and we bring them into this uh, formal sector. That will also benefit the businessmen. That will benefit the output to increase the and ultimately that will reflect on the GDP. What I feel here, if I correlate with your institute also, that your learning at your institute in the sense that in Ahmedabad University, it has some unique features of integrated learning, and then special projects are there. And there are also research, undergraduate research. These are the unique features of your university. So, children or the students learning or going through all these experiences are going to be better off. There are talented and students, and there are also scholars in your teaching faculty, which are going to also make this institution, and in fact, it has become one of the foremost good institution in Gujarat. I think it has a number of,
Yeah,
within
we
number
have
five.
received the award of excellence from Gujarat
Yeah.
government, and also UGC has recognized us as a research
So
university,
then
private
the
university.
rich or the affluent or as you said the billionaires, they have to think about this, that they should support such kind of institution who has the purpose of of growing continuously, or supporting this institution for the continuous growth of self and the society. So I would sum up saying that light future with today. That's the one sentence that I would say to this
That's
rich.
straight out of the MBA class at IIM Ahmedabad, and it's really thankful to you for your time today, and
No,
for the
it's a
very
pleasure.
generous contribution, and we really think that this would be an
It's a
inspirational thing.
pleasure, but I would like to add here that I have also put up one condition for the recipient where I forgot to mention that if the recipient does not carry on that same grade or first grade in the second year, the scholarship also is reduced to 75%. So I think this is only to keep the student on track as well as on the progressive mode,
Absolutely.
so that
They
they
remain
also they
motivated
are
to
in,
excel.
yeah, motivate as well as incentives are there, that they have to go for 4 years, they have to
Right.
complete their graduation in 4 years, and 4 years if they get the sponsorship, it is to their credit and it is to their benefit also, both the things happen. So that is more important for the for the beneficiary, or for the person or the student who is getting the scholarship, to understand.
Thank you, ma'am. I think it's privilege for me in both sides. One, I think coming from a person like you with the history in philanthropy, the family history in philanthropy, the launch of this major initiative, a full scholarship program at Ahmedabad University, and then of course, you being a brilliant student yourself. I'm Ahmedabad, and I connect from Ahmedabad. Thank you
But this
again.
is my privilege. You can always approach me anytime that you like.
Thank you so very
Thank
much,
you.
ma'am. I'm such a privilege to get your time, get your thoughts, and for everything.
It's my pleasure and my privilege to
Thank you.